Started with our program here shortly. Please continue to enjoy your lunches as we start our program. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and we're excited about another season of college basketball here in Detroit. And just to run down our program for you, we'll hear from our athletic director, Keri Gaither. We'll also hear from Horizon League Commissioner John LeCrone. Then we'll hear from our basketball coaches, head women's coach Autumn Rodemaker and head men's coach Ray McCallum. Following our program, we invite you down to the new floor, take pictures of it, and get a chance to interview our coaches and our student athletes one-on-one. Without further ado, here's Keri Gaither.
Thank you and welcome. I want to thank everybody in the media that is here today. Great turnout. Really great to have you, and also want to welcome all of our Horizon League viewers today. Great to be able to stream this event live and having you with us today. It's really an exciting year on campus for so many reasons. It's an exciting year in Titan athletics, but there's a lot of synergy right now that is happening on campus. We have a new president who actually happens to be with us today, stopping through, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi. Great to have you here. And we just broke ground last month on a new student fitness center on campus, which is just going to be a terrific addition on campus. As far as our fall sports, we're excited. Our women's soccer team just clinched the #2 seed in the Horizon League tournament, so we're getting ready to head to Milwaukee with a bye into the semifinals. And later today, the NCAA is announcing graduation success rates. So we're excited about that news as well. A lot of good things coming out of Titan territory. As far as basketball, women's basketball this year, led by Coach Autumn Rodemaker. The entire women's team has been working hard this year. We're excited. We're really expecting some great things from them this year. And I think it's going to be a terrific year for the women Titans. As far as the men's basketball, there's also a lot of excitement in the air with the preseason Horizon League polls that came out recently, our expanded national and local TV packages that have a minimum of 7 games on the ESPN network, 5 locally televised games, and an increased number of episodes of the Titan Court Report. So we're really excited about that show as well, which is produced and aired on Fox Sports Detroit. We have a great schedule this year, including several home marquee games, which you'll hear more about. We have the Dick Vitale Court Dedication event on December 5th, and that is in conjunction with the game against St. John's on ESPN2. So again, a lot of excitement, a lot of great things that are happening here. We welcome you, and without further ado, I'm going to introduce the Commissioner of the Horizon League, John LeCrone.
Thanks, Keri, and good afternoon, everyone. Always great to be in Detroit. Keri's right. There's a lot of excitement here in Detroit and a lot of excitement in the Horizon League. I want to take just a minute or two just to thank some people and then maybe give you some broad thoughts on what's going on in the landscape of intercollegiate athletics. Lots of change out there, and then talk a little bit about basketball and then introduce Autumn. So I always want to start with the coaches. Our league's built on coaches, and the reason we have been successful is not only because of the people, but it's because of their values. So to have Ray and Autumn here, you should be very proud about that. I've known them both a long time, and really happy to have both of them here. I could literally introduce the entire athletic staff, but let me just thank Keri and particularly Mitch for what they do in putting this together, and for all of you, Jason and Terry and all of you who I know. Thank you for what you do for us. I mean, it takes a team, and you're incredibly important to our team, so thank you for that. Want to introduce again one of my new bosses, President Garibaldi. We've initiated him already. We brought him to Chicago for about a day and a half meeting, and he was engaged and thoughtful, and so we're going to really appreciate his leadership. And I always want to include introducing a new boss. So it's one of my new bosses, and so thank you for being here. It means a lot to us. Let me say a couple of things about what's going on out there. I don't know if any of you happened to pick up the USA Today and read about Mark Emmert's comments yesterday. Yesterday, it was Monday. He was in front of the Knight Commission talking about the reform movement in intercollegiate athletics, and I've been working on a couple of fronts, really 3 fronts, on the NCAA Leadership Council with a group of colleagues and then with some other conferences. I just would share this with you, that I really respect what we're trying to do in our business to try to change our landscape. What you're seeing out there is all driven by football. And it's really driven by the long-term media rights associated with football. So the enterprise looks pretty unstable right now. I would share with you that the reform movement started by Mark and the presidents is on the right track. But what I said in the paper today in USA Today is I think there are a group of us looking for some more transformational change. I think with the evolution of commercial scale models in intercollegiate athletics, particularly in football, changes the nature of our business. So I think there are a group of us looking to move that pendulum, if you will, from the commercial scale a little bit back towards the middle, more towards the values of higher education. And that's what makes me feel very proud about being the commissioner of the Horizon League, because I think what we do is really focused on our values of higher education, values of learning, values of service, and want to compete at a very high level. So when you're able to combine those things, what you get are some really good examples. We have a really good example right here. We had unbelievable examples the last couple of years when you think about the runs to the Final Four with not only how the Butler team played, but how they looked on paper, with graduation rates and APRs and really positive numbers. And oh, by the way, I would remind you here that when your graduation rate numbers came out, I think they came out today, your women's team graduates at a 92% clip and your men's team at an 89% clip. So that's what we're all about in the Horizon League, and I'm very proud that that's going on in our league. And I'd also say about the growth of our women's program, you know, when you think about the evolution of women's basketball in our league, it's really been pretty fundamental. I just credit our top program right now in Green Bay, but everybody's been a part of that. Autumn's been a part of that as a player and as a coach. I'm really pleased with the overall growth of basketball in the Horizon League. So I'm really looking forward to this year. I think we're going to have a lot of even teams on the men's side. I think on the women's side, it's going to be Green Bay again and everybody trying to pursue them. But that's good. That's not bad for our league. That's good, as they've really evolved into a top 40 program, and we hope our women's teams continue to develop. So on that note, I'm going to stop and introduce Autumn. Autumn, come on up. I had the yes, a hand for Autumn. Had the great pleasure to watch her as a player and now watch her as a coach. So it's my pleasure to introduce Autumn. Thanks.